Good morning, good evening, good night. Actually, I bid you good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to another very special edition of Steve the Plumber Talks. Yes, we got my man Steve the Plumber on the line right now, live. Steve, what's going on, buddy?
Good evening, Mike. How's everything?
Oh, it's going. You sound a little bit frustrated. Are you okay, buddy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just a little tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, I guess. It's been a long week, and the week's just started, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's Monday. I just totally forgot today's Monday. That's right. So yeah, we had a discussion. What was it earlier today? And it's maybe people should, like you yourself maybe should wait on the sidelines when I guess if you're going to buy right now.
Well, buying property right now, Mike, with in the Greater Toronto area, or even just in the burbs, or outside the burbs, it's not a good idea. And when I say not a good idea, you just don't know where things are going to be. And I mean, if organized real estate wants to continue to manufacture their numbers and massage their numbers to suggest that things are positive and looking up,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know what? That's fine. Apparently sales are up and prices are up. So it's one of those things where I guess everything has to be great, but yet we have a very, very, very disappointing jobs report.
Yes.
And we find out that 71,000 or over 71,000 Canadians lost their job in November, and I think it was 14,000 the month before.
Well, no. What happened was during the elections, while during the debates, the political debates, Canada, like the paid-for media that we have here, announced, I think it was 40,000 new jobs, but they failed to mention that it was public sector jobs, and they also failed to mention that we lost 18,000 private sector jobs when they announced those job gains during the political election, during the political debates. Then, boom, 1 month after, everything starts, bunch of commercial, small companies, mom and pop businesses closing the doors. Alberta wants Wexit. You got all this stuff happening. And then, boom, we get hit for the month of November for 71,000 job losses, public sector jobs.
Yeah.
No, private sector. 71,000 private sector. Public sector jobs, they'll dare not. Nobody's going to lose their jobs because it's going to even look worse on the numbers.
Right. So it's a question of what is process here and what is the actual truth, and we don't know what the truth is, and that's the difficult part. So whether you're a business owner or you're a potential homeowner or home buyer, I mean, buying property right now or even expanding your business or trying to forecast your business, it's just not happening.
Well, it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. Look at that guy. Remember, I had to show you this because you thought I was anyone could say anything, but when you see it with your own eyes, where that guy's paying, was it $53,000 a year for property tax?
Yeah.
For that that little store with no second story and no back alley or anything. Something's not right. I remember I showed you that. You were like, everyone was like, wow, that's $4,500 a month in property tax for a retail store, a small, tiny store.
Yep.
So how can you plan your business when your lease comes up or something comes up and then your landlord's like, well, I'm going to have to push on this huge savings I'm getting from these property tax. You can't even offset those property gains tax on your property gains. And that's another problem. Okay, I got a few headlines open here. Guys, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. Also, I'm on BitTubers. I got 39 subscribers. And I'm not worried if YouTube hacks my channel tonight. I'm not too worried because I'll tell you why. It's like I'm getting more views per subscriber than I ever did on YouTube. Even though it shows 81 views on this video from 2 days ago, I need like 500 subscribers to get that many views on YouTube. So I have 39 and I'm doing well, So Guys, okay, Steve, I got a few articles here. Red Robin serving last meals in Alberta. This booming economy. What the heck is going on? Red Robin's closing all its locations. December 8th.
December 8th, as in yesterday?
Yep, they closed all their locations.
Wow.
Edmonton, a chain restaurant known for gourmet burgers, is serving its last meals in Alberta on Sunday. A company spokesperson confirmed October Red Robin would shutter its 5 locations in the province after December 8th. So they're all closing their locations because why? This booming economy. It's Steve. Do you think people just don't want to eat anymore? Is that what it is, or people don't eat?
I think it's a combination of people aren't eating, or if they are eating, they are not going out to eat. They're staying home to eat.
This is kind of weird with this booming economy we're having, in quotations, of course. In quotations, a booming economy. Why would they close? This is like an opportunity of a lifetime for them.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. Pierre was on. He's a conservative member of the Conservative Party, in Ottawa, and he was on and he took some questions today. The media is obviously, really defending the Liberals and whatnot. Because
it's bought and paid for. We have a federalized media system in Canada.
Absolutely, and he doesn't stop. He's a pit bull. And I really like him because he doesn't sugarcoat things. And he basically, I couldn't believe it. He actually suggested, that, I guess our current finance minister, he hopes that he has his emergency economic plan ready to go. To table it and deliver it before, the Christmas break. And if that is not the case, and he needs more time or something along those lines, said, I'm sorry, people from the Liberals, they're going to have to, work through the break. Their vacations are going to have to be canceled. He says this is what needs to happen. He says 71,200 people lost their jobs. That means 71,200, people went home to their families and said, I no longer have a job. And
they're going to have to hack 30,000 private sector jobs. I mean, public sector jobs now. They have to hack 30,000 public sector jobs. How are they going to keep all the public sector going when you're losing 71,000 private sector? That's scary. It's so unbalanced.
Yeah. It's unbalanced, and it's not good. I don't think people realize how bad this is. And as this continues to happen, it's definitely going to send a domino effect. And for anybody that wants to say that Canada isn't accurate and it's merely polls or something along those lines, well, if you're trying to suggest that it's not accurate for the purposes of us not at least losing 71,000 jobs, you're an idiot. You are absolutely an idiot, and you should not have intelligent conversations about the economy. If anything, their numbers aren't accurate to the point where they're underreported.
Right.
I personally think we lost a lot more than 71,200 jobs. And I know for a fact that we have GM, Ford, all cutting jobs between December and January, onwards and upwards. There's a number of different things that are happening. I personally know of 5 or 6 businesses that are closing within the Greater Toronto Area. I'm not going to get into it, but they are actually moving from the GTA, and they are going to the States.
Well, they have to go to the States. I mean, right now, if people want to keep their dreams alive, they're going to have to follow the American way. They have to go via America. 1, they got the population. 2, they don't get taxed to death like we do. 3, a lot of states are work-free states, so you actually don't pay as much tax as you would, like here in Canada. But, oh, Mike, you're only making $22 an hour or $19 an hour in Georgia. Yeah, but you're taking home $17 an hour, and an average house benchmark in the state of in the state of Georgia is $192 still, the benchmark price. You could still get into something alone.
You're absolutely right, and it's funny how the conservatives from a provincial standpoint, from an Ontario standpoint, wanted to deal with, and we've talked about this on your show before, they've wanted to change how taxation works on, I think it was the first 35,000, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, I think it was 35,000. You'd pay no provincial tax. So they're in the process of announcing that and doing certain things between now and the next election, which is great. But you know what? It's one of those things where it's just not enough.
No.
And it really, truly it isn't. Imagine for a second, and again, we've talked about this on your show. Imagine for a second that the first 50,000, okay, was tax-free, income tax-free. You would have so many employers and companies coming to Canada or coming to the GTA or wherever you want to call it in Canada, and they would be setting up shop. Because all of a sudden, it's like, wow, okay, you know, the first 50,000 or something along those lines. Okay, all I have to do is pay you 50 grand. I don't have to pay you, you know, $80,000 or $90,000 a year,
right?
So that you actually take home 50 grand.
Yeah, so you don't, yeah, because 40,000 gets sent off to the federal, provincial, pretty much gets sent to all the capitals.
That's right.
Yeah, the federal government gets sent to Ottawa. Then the other money gets sent to the provincial capital, right?
Sure. Yeah, in a roundabout way, you got it right there, Mike.
Yeah. So the capitals get the money. Then they have to keep these big cities afloat, which is not fair. When you're not working in a big city, or you're 3 cities away, but they got to keep these big cities afloat. So what do? They redistribute the funds provincially to the bigger cities, give them more, even though less people are paying tax there over time because they haven't contributed to the infrastructure.
That's right.
That's very damaging. People don't know how damaging that is.
That's where we're at. And you know what? Just look at it for a second. You and I both discussed this. We know that this would definitely work. This would definitely kickstart certain things. Companies wouldn't be leaving. They would be coming here. And they would definitely be staying here if this was the case. But you know what? The government just doesn't want to do it. I don't understand. You know, they don't want to, you know, I guess the tax system is broken. End of story.
Yeah. Well, I got one here. BNN Bloomberg. Munro moves to implement middle-class tax cut. Canadian Finance Minister Bill Munro said he plans to move ahead immediately with a personal tax cuts, providing an additional source of stimulus to the economy at a time when growth is slowing. So they're looking at a tax deduction of 20% over the next 4 years. It would be phased for higher income earners who would be worth $3 billion in 2020, growing to $6.2 billion by 2024.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Here it is. The magic word. Sorry for cutting you off. The Liberals anticipate their budget deficit will jump to about $27 billion. $27 billion budget deficit, my friend. I told you. How are they going to flip these?
Let the budget's going to balance itself, Mike.
Oh, come on. Don't be silly.
Well, that's what Lucky Sperm said. Come on.
Yeah, but don't be silly.
Yeah, well, anyhow, it's one of those things where, so Bill Marneau basically got out his coloring book and his sippy cup, and what has he actually done? He's basically given us lip service and said over the next 4 years it's going to be implemented. You know, he uses words immediately, and then all of a sudden over the next 4 years. So, it's going to be interesting to see what actually truly happens here.
But $27 billion is a lot of money. You know where I think we're in a lot more debt than the United States is per capita? Because obviously we have less people in the United States. And if you're looking at our deficits and comparing it, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know. But I'm just saying I think we're a lot worse than America is right now.
Yeah, we could be. I think we are too.
Because I'm talking about population and actual people that, if you look, okay, well, we got 35 million people, but how many people actually contribute to the infrastructure, right? How many people are on benefits or benefits, or how many people are retired of that? How many people are this? How many people are on welfare? How many people are on this? Then you start taking all the numbers and actually seeing what's contributing to what and what we're paying out. So apparently they anticipate a budget deficit of 27 billion is actually a walk in the park. When they anticipate 27 billion, prepare for 55 billion, my friend.
Yeah, double up.
Yeah, prepare for that. Okay, listen to this. Are you ready to laugh? You ready for today's joke?
Yeah.
Monroe said he hopes the cut will be implemented by January 1st. He added government plans to release a physical update before Christmas.
So that was a physical update that Pierre was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He hopes before Christmas. Well, you know what? If he's got half a brain, between him and Lucky Sperm, hopefully they have half a brain. He's just as silver spooned as Justin Trudeau. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if they have half a brain between the two of them, they will release that outlook, because right now consumer confidence has left the entire country. Nobody wants to spend any money. I've seen it was almost like overnight. You know what I mean? Today, nobody wanted to spend money. Nobody.
Well, it's like if you go back, they're saying that our consumer confidence is the lowest it's been since 1974, and then it's the second lowest it's been since 1981.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? The economy's fine. Everything is great. But you want to know something else, Mike? Just food for thought. The economy's fine. Everything's pumping along. We lost these jobs. Oh yeah, we're going to implement this, and we're going to release this, this statement and this outlook so that people stop freaking out. Well, you know what? People need to freak out, because TransCanada reported today.
Yeah, it's right here.
That
right
we
here.
have. We've achieved an all-time high of $100 billion worth of balance sheet
mm-hmm.
in terms of credit cards.
Mm-hmm. Right here. 2020 may be a watershed year for indebted Canadians. And there's the article right there on BNN Bloomberg. $100 billion mark for the first time as Canadians continue to borrow and rack up the debt amid historically low interest rates. Now, for the most part, Canadians continue to manage their payments. However, we need to pay special attention to the one particular data point. A very real warning sign that is ringing the alarm bells for me is non-mortgage debt. So they're looking at non-mortgage delinquency as an unsecured debt, right? So, and basically unsecured debt is the one that gets hit the hardest. And then once you start trickling into secured debt with mortgages and car loans and stuff, you're going to start seeing repos of homes and cars. And it's very scary, but there needs to be some sort of a correction, or people need to, they got to come to terms with themselves too, that they've been misled, or they've basically bought into a nightmare.
Well, at this point, we're already seeing people lose their cars. We're already seeing people lose their houses. I've seen it firsthand in my line of work, and that's okay. But what I think we need to truly understand is this is going to be absolutely 100% a catastrophe. This is going to be an astronomical recession. And, you can prolong it. We're already ready to go. We're locked, loaded, and this is happening. It's a question of how fast it happens and how long it goes on for. 100 billion. B for Bravo. B for billion.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that statement for a second, Mike. 100 billion.
That's
okay.
36999. That's 910. That's 11 zeros, right?
Mike.
Yeah, it's just.
It's a situation where it's going to be interesting to see the comments in this video, and I would love for people to comment comment on this video and truly give their opinion
Mm-hmm.
on where number one they're at in terms of overall economic confidence as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
And further, I'd love to know what people think about our new and exciting achievement as a country of 100 billion.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's cover this real quick. We got Patty Lovett Reed. Top 10 money mistakes you're making but shouldn't. 1. Letting cash sit idle. Cash sitting idle in your savings accounts earn next to nothing. But, guys, I don't blame you if you want to let your cash sit idle right now. Right now, with the way things are headed. Number 2. Falling in love with your assets. Never fall in love with your investments. Number 3. Abdicating financial responsibilities to someone else. Yeah, guys, educate yourselves, please. Number 4, don't try to time the market. Never do that, people. It's impossible. Number 5, understand the impact of compounding taxes and inflation. Understand, guys, how inflation works, how your money is becoming more and more devalued as they keep lowering interest rates. Understand also how the blended interest rates work, please. Relying on your memory. And then number 7 is knowing what you own. Not knowing what you own. That's very important. Overdoing it. No one wants to save until it hurts. Or spend if there is no tomorrow. Find a balance. Number 9, ignoring what you're worth. And number 10, leaving money for tomorrow if you are not retired. So, yeah, just, you got to be careful, guys. It's a really good BNN Bloomberg article here by Patty Lovett Reed. She's from, I think, CTV. She's from CTV, that's right. She's a commentator. She's a financial chief. She brings up some really good points here. I think my ultimate guru is Gerald Celente and Max Kaiser. I love those guys. So, Steve, what do you want to tell people that I want to get into the market now? Yes, no, maybe, hold off?
I never want to give people unsolicited financial advice.
Well, you're not giving anyone advice, but, okay, would you buy right now?
Absolutely not.
There you go. That's what we need to know. So we'll keep you on the pulse, Steve, to know when you are ready to buy. So maybe it might be the right time for everyone to start looking, right? Because you've been looking, analyzing, looking at numbers, looking at jobs, looking at defaults, looking at pitfalls, looking at also what else are you looking at? You're looking at foreclosures. You're looking at defaults. You're looking at everything under the sun. So it's good to watch what other people are watching too, to give you an idea of what and where is a good time. You know what I'm saying, Steve?
Absolutely. It's definitely hard to catch a falling knife, but it's pretty easy to acknowledge and ascertain the facts, especially when all the indicators are flashing red. And when they're red right in front of you, you got to be a special kind of an idiot in order to, jump in with both feet. You're going to ruin yourself financially, and I don't want to see that for anybody, because there are far too many people that
the last thing we want to see is hardworking people get into something they shouldn't have not. You know, people are saying, "Well, Mike, you bought a house." Well, I moved 2.5 hours away from the city, okay, and I bought my house for like $260,000. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't put myself in this predicament because I actually bought a house to raise a family. I didn't buy it as an investment purpose, right, Steve?
Exactly, right? And at the same point in time, Mike, if you had to rebuild that house again today, it would cost you more to rebuild it than what you paid for it.
Well, that's 100 million%. 100 million%, yeah. 100 million.
That's not the case in the GTA. It's far from it.
Yeah.
So you bought that house for $260,000, is that correct?
Yeah.
So if you do the square footage and you divide that by, what you paid for it and everything else, that'll give you a good indication of, how well you did. And that's basically that. But let's not digress. I will let you go, Mike. So good to be with you. Thanks for having me on your show. And hopefully we'll talk real soon.
Yeah, brother, you take care, and we'll talk soon. You don't have to hang up. I'm just going to stop recording this, okay?
No problem.
All right. Thanks for watching, people. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me up on BitTubers and on YouTube.